Hi, how are you? I'm Officer Mark Jeans, Forest Park Police Department, and your security manager, contracted through TriArms Security Solutions. This is your First Security Bank safety meeting for 3/14/22, March 14th of 2022. Just some friendly reminders and some safety tips that we'll be speaking of today. Just most of them as reminders and some extra things to help assist you with workplace safety injury prevention. Well, firstly, when you're starting your day, your frame of mind and safety starts with you. It starts at the time when you first wake up in the morning to start your business day. When you wake up, you want to have a good night's rest. You wake up feeling refreshed, calm mind. You can plan your day from beginning to middle to end at the start of the day. Have a good breakfast, have a good meal, and keep yourself in a positive state of mind. Once you have that good meal, if that's part of your routine in the mornings, that will help give you some energy and strength that you need to start the day. Once we do that, make sure you have all your belongings with you, everything that you need to start the day already in the vehicle, ready to go. You jump in and you start your trip. The drive sometimes can be hectic or stressful, of course, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We want to talk about the route that you take to and from the bank. We'll start about the two-part, since this is the start of our business day together. When you're driving to the bank, make sure you try different routes. Security reasons, of course, if the bad guy wants to do harm or case the bank, they're going to start with the employees first. What vehicles do they drive, and who the employees are, who they look like, what their names might very well be, but primarily what vehicles are they driving and who do the bank employees look like. So it's a good idea to change up your routing from time to time. If you take Route A, take Route B next week, and then take a Route C or D. But just change it up and let's not get too set into a routine. I know routines for us as human beings are great because we are creatures of habit. So we have to physically and mentally remind ourselves to make that change. If you're always taking the same route all the time, that means that you're predictable. In our line of work, we want to be as unpredictable as we can. So, we've already discussed the part of taking multiple ways and routes to work, or the bank, to be specific. Once we arrive or we approach to the bank, make sure that we're checking our surroundings. Always keep your head on a swivel. Always be looking left, looking right, looking straight ahead, paying attention to what vehicles that might be in the parking lot at your arrival. You also might want to go ahead and make sure you keep an eye out for any pedestrians that might be walking in the neighborhood or in the area of the bank, or that might be present on the bank property. Of course, if you see anyone close to you or anything like that, do take caution before stepping out of your vehicle. Also, backing up just a little bit on your routes to work, if you notice certain vehicles following you the whole way, be sure that you change your route a different way. If you feel as though it's an emergency situation, always dial 911 and let the police know or dispatcher know that you might be potentially being followed. You can also alert us as well, your security team, in case we're in the area or available to you. Now back to our arrival at the bank location. So we've covered in case someone or a vehicle is present there. Be mindful of that. If the vehicle is occupied, what the vehicle description is, and things like that. All that pertinent information. Okay, so it's clear now, and you're able to enter the bank. Now we'll talk about some injury prevention methods when we're getting out of our vehicles. If it's raining out, we want to make sure that we're mindful that, okay, it could be slick out. So be mindful of our shoes and our clothing and attire that we're wearing in inclement weather. We've had some recent snow here in the area, so sometimes those slick areas also have ice. So we try to lay out salt, sand, things like that. Check your traction on your shoes. Make sure we're dressed properly and comfortably, and we have everything we need for the weather that may happen. You know Oklahoma weather, the good old saying, if you don't like the weather right now, wait 5 minutes. It will change. So, we step outside of our vehicle. Be sure that we're holding on to something firmly when we're stepping down and out. Be sure that we look where we step and then step in that space. Once our feet are firmly planted, then we can go ahead and turn around, secure our vehicle, and proceed to the building. Take caution when you're approaching the bank building, because you all know right there on the north side of the building we have that step right there at the crosswalk at the curb. Be sure that we're looking as we're walking to make sure our area is free of any debris or obstacles or objects or any potential hazards. Once we reach the curb, be sure that we look, we see the curb, and we step with the whole foot planted and then step up to the curb. Always remember, take your time. Don't be in a hurry, don't rush. That's when accidents are going to happen. Continuing on, your keys should be already out in your hand as you are walking towards the bank. Also, you are looking around as you're entering the bank. Of course, you know, I won't mention here on the video that we have a certain protocol that's there to let you know that it's safe to enter the bank. Once you see that particular object, then you know it's safe to enter. Once you enter the bank, go ahead and make yourself comfortable at your workspace. Also, as you're walking in, be sure you're mindful of where you're stepping and where you're walking. This will help prevent slip, trip, and fall hazards while you're making your way that way. Watching for loose rugs, a rug that might be rolled up, loose panel on the floor, or just not simply paying attention to where we're walking to where we may trip or stumble over something that's there or not there. Make yourself comfortable at your workspace. You're working through your day. Be mindful that we push our chairs in after every time that we get up. That way it'll prevent a hazard if you happen to be in a hurry, which I hope that you won't be. Remember, we don't want to be in a hurry at any time. We want to take our time and slow down. Be sure that our drawers are pushed in after each use. If you take out a file, be sure the file is put back in the drawers closed after every use. This will prevent a coworker from coming around the corner and inadvertently hurting themselves. Common workplace injury, running into drawers that may be open and chairs that are pushed in. Also, we do have stairs at our location. That's another potential safety hazard location to where injury could potentially happen. How do we prevent ourselves from having an injury when dealing and navigating stairs? First, always look where you step. Then grab hold firmly of any handrails that are there present. Also, be sure that we take our first step and we step up, and our feet are firmly planted on each step as we go up. That's called 3 points of contact. You'll use a right side, a right handle as well, or a left hand side as well, and then your feet. Those are 3 points of contact to ensure that we will not fall as we're stepping up. Sometimes that other side's not available, so be sure we are holding on to the handrail prior to stepping up onto the first step. The same thing applies when coming down the stairs. Take your time, be sure you're holding on to the handrail. If no handrails are present, take one step at a time and take your time. Do not be in a hurry. Do not rush. Slowly up and slowly down. Okay? All right. Now, another issue that we do have for injury for our bodies, we want to also be sure that when we're lifting things, just so happen we're in an office setting, we want to be sure that if we drop something and have to pick something up off the ground, be sure that we do not bend at your back. Our backs were not made to bend and lift things. Our legs were made to lift. So, you'll bend at your knees and lift with your legs. It may feel awkward because that's not what we're used to doing, but just be mindful. You'll be sort of in a squatting position. You'll pick up the item off the floor and then you'll stand up. If you have any questions on operating in that fashion, let one of us know, or a supervisor that you may have report to. We'll be able to let you know how to properly lift any items or pick anything up that you may drop. If you bend at your back after that 8-hour day over and over and over again, trust and believe, long-term back injury is a potential issue that can happen to you. So just be mindful of things like that, okay? That gets us through our work day, and we're now at the end of our day, so what do we want to do? Well, let's back up. Not quite at the end of our day yet. Let's talk about when customers are coming in and out of the bank, okay? We're always watching, as far as we being security, we're always watching for body language, demeanor, conduct, and how people overall are acting when they enter the bank. Okay? So if you're having any problems or issues with any customers, trust and believe we're listening. You can also call our extension and use our code word. I won't mention that here on this video, but you know what that is. Okay? We will respond. We are also aware of a lot of things that are going on and any conflicts. Remember, everything is going up right now in this March of 2022. Prices are excruciatingly high. Gas prices are high. Food is high. Everything is going up. And no one's getting paid anymore. So attitudes are there with people, and a lot of people are upset. Already be mindful of that when we're dealing with the public and our clients. With that being said, we're aware. Be mindful of people that are there. Be sure your computers are secured and locked anytime you're away from your desks at any time. Also, remember, any potential bad guy is going to always be watching for patterns. If you see something and you feel as though someone is acting not quite right, always err on the side of caution and let the security officer on duty or police officer on duty know. We'll be gladly to respond and trust and believe. We'd rather take care of the issue at the beginning than have it result in that nothing was actually something. Okay? Always go with your gut. If you feel as though something isn't quite right, let's just believe it's not right and let's handle that situation. Anytime when dealing with the public, the best common phrase that's always used all the time is always, "How can I help you?" or "May I help you?" That usually dissolves or diffuses any type of issue that's there. If you see someone loitering, hanging around, potential casing situation, simply approach the person. We most certainly will if we see that you don't. We'll ask how we can be of assistance or how we can help them, and then direct them in the right direction or to the right place there at the bank. The end of the day has come for you. You'll do everything like you did at the start of the day. Be sure that when you're leaving, the doors close securely behind you at the bank. If you're with the officer on duty, they'll set the alarm for you. If not, then you'll set the alarm as well. We'll secure our doors. Be checking the parking lot before you walk out the door. Have your keys already ready to go in your hand. Enter your vehicle and be mindful of any people or vehicles that you don't recognize that are there in the parking lot. Also, be mindful of the route home. If you've had a long day, try to be clear-headed. Take a different way home. Don't take the same way home every single day. Change it up. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're creatures of habit. Habit can also be a negative, especially if someone is watching and wanting to do bad things at our location. I'm Corporal Mark Jeans with Forest Park Police Department and your security manager there at First Security Bank. If you guys have any questions at any time or any concerns, please let me know or your immediate supervisor. I hope this information has helped you and will assist you in the times ahead as well as times now. Also, be sure that you sign up for the American Bankers Association letters. Sometimes there's some good information in there. I'll continue these videos in the future. This is the first one. I hope you enjoyed, and stay safe, be observant, and if you have any questions, let me know. It's a pleasure serving you all, and until our next safety meeting and meet, take care. Have a good day. Stay safe.